Grass-fed butter is top shelf for a reason. It's the gold standard of butters, and in fact, it's one of the healthiest fats on the planet. It's my go-to for Brownie 2.0. I'm Chef Michael Williams, and that's what we're cooking on the coast. Welcome to the kitchen. Today we're twisting up the brownie with a Brownie 2.0. Double chocolate brownie, mushroom cocoa whipped cream, power bites with a mushroom cocoa spike coffee. It's gonna be an epic dessert. Let's get right to it. So, wait a minute. Wait, I'm missing my vegetables. What am I, I'm sorry guys. I feel like I've let you down. I'm all about the vegetables. There's no vegetables in this episode. What are we gonna do? We're gonna indulge in a brownie. So, you know, sometimes you gotta have your treats too, right? We're gonna get into the most delicious fudgy brownie ever. So we'll start off with a cup and a half of cocoa powder, plus a touch, and here's our half cup. There we go, perfect. So now what we wanna do is mix in our baking soda. I've got just a half a teaspoon of baking soda here. In that goes. And the next step is to whisk this up. All right, so our baking soda is now incorporated into our cocoa. I've got some hot water here, so hot water, and I've got some melted butter on the stove. I actually want to get some chocolate chips melting as well. Check this out on the stove right here. This is a double boiler. Really important when you're melting chocolate that you don't overheat it. So if you were to just put it straight into a pot, it would probably burn because that direct heat's no good. Instead, we've got a layer of steam between where that heat is and the bowl where the chocolate's melting. So just a skim of water in your pot with a bowl that fits right over top there. That's what you need for a double boiler, and that's what you need for melting good quality chocolate. So let's get a half a cup in there and let that start melting. Now the final tip here for this is make sure that water's not boiling. It's just a steam. We want it gently simmering, okay? So now next up, I'm just gonna take a peek at my recipe here. Always have your recipe handy when you're working with a recipe. I'm always teaching you guys to kind of just cook on the fly, right? Baking's a little bit more precise, so we wanna make sure we're doing it right. So our next step is to add in half of the melted butter. So let's go ahead and pour in half of the melted butter right into here. And we'll set aside that other half. Got my trusty spatula. We'll get that butter incorporated. And then what we'll do is we'll add in our hot water. So this brownie recipe is using not only cocoa powder, but also melted chocolates. The double combination, it really makes for a fantastic brownie. So I've got my water here, which I'm gonna add. We'll stir that up. Okay, and once that is nicely incorporated, let's go ahead and get that melted chocolate in there now. You know, take a peek here. This chocolate may look like it's not melted, but watch what happens when I give it a stir. It is totally melted. Perfect. All right, so this now gets mixed right into our brownie. And this is what really makes it for me, is the extra melted chocolate. There's a lot of brownie recipes out there that are just cocoa powder, and this is the extra addition of the melted chocolate really makes it sing. Oh yeah, so we'll get that mixed in. Then we can add in the rest of our butter, sugar, and eggs. Now this is probably actually easiest done in a mixer, but I always want to show you that you don't always need the tools. The tools are fantastic and they make life, you know, that much easier, but if you don't have access to it, hey, we can still roll. So let's go ahead and get the rest of our butter in. Get that chunk of fudge off of there. Let's get our sugar in there. Start stirring this up and we'll crack in those eggs. Now these eggs are at room temperature, absolutely crucial. You know, anytime you're baking, you want to be working with your ingredients at room temperature. If you're mixing butter into something, room temp. Eggs, room temp. Now a trick for you, if you forgot to pull your eggs out and bring them up to room temp, just run them under warm water for about, you know, five minutes or so, like a little warm water bath. That's a little trick. I actually need it often because I always forget to pull them out. So that's how I solve that conundrum. All right, let's get this mixed up. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in our flour in stages. instead of one big clump all at once. Okay, that's looking pretty nicely incorporated. All right, let's start mixing in our flour. So I've got a nice organic unbleached flour here. I'm gonna add it in 3 stages. So there's our first. And once that's kind of almost mixed in, see, the key here is that we don't overmix. We do not want to, we don't want to pretend like we're making bread here and keep mixing and stirring, because then we're going to start developing gluten, and then our brownie is going to become tough instead of tender. So we don't want a tough brownie. I like tender brownies. Do you? All right, so as little mixing as possible to incorporate that flour. And we're almost ready to get this into our dish. There we have it. So you even see here, take a look. I want you to get a close look at this. There still is a touch of flour that's kind of, not quite mixed in. That's okay. Same with when we're making cookies. It doesn't have to be completely incorporated. Almost incorporated is better than overmixed and gluten developing. So we'll go ahead and pour this into our dish here. Just get a bit of a head start on getting that parchment paper lined up. Fold those corners, and we'll adjust it once the brownie's in there. Okay. Now I'm just going to pull this up here. Get those tucked a little bit. Happy. Final step, guys. You ready for this? Not only do we have the cocoa powder and the dark chocolate, but let's top this off with some white chocolate. I've got some Calibo white chocolate here. Right off the brick, I'm just going to cut into kind of chunks. That's going to get sprinkled on top. And we're going to bake this at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes, okay? We'll be back later in the show to pull together our Brownie 2.0, but first, we're road tripping. See you after the break.
Cookin' on the Road is brought to you by Cold Star Solutions, an integral part of Vancouver Island's grocery supply chain for 20 years.
I'm feeling universal harmony. This is one of 8 mushrooms in a fantastic mushroom blend that I've been playing with in my cooking.
Yeah.
Purica Foods. Anna, thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you. Our
this
pleasure.
Is awesome. Yeah.
I've
been a huge fan. I love your supplements. I've been using them for a long time. And then I found out you guys are right here in the Cowichan Valley. I was blown away.
Isn't that exciting?
Totally.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's just, in your backyard pretty much.
Right on. Like local's huge to me, but to know I can get my supplements locally too, that's awesome.
I know. I'm glad we can help you.
Now this is a...
This one is a turkey tail mushroom.
Right, okay.
Yes, and it is one of the ingredients in one of our most popular mixes, Universal Harmony.
Yeah.
We just use this in recipes. We can use it in hot drinks and cold drinks.
Yeah.
You can take it also in a capsule form.
Okay.
Or just a plain powder by itself.
Yeah.
This one happens to be mixed in an organic cacao. Would you like to try some today while we're talking?
You got 8 different mushrooms in here. Why?
Yeah, so this mix is actually that's been formulated is really good for just keeping our immune systems really high and boosted.
Yeah.
And especially in these times that we're going through right now, we've had like a really big increase in sales. It's like this is the creme de la creme, I believe, of all our different products.
Incredible plant medicine, am I right?
You're right. It's all pure mushrooms.
Yeah.
So here you go. Taste this. It's beautifully warm. And you know what? I did not use any milk in that one. How do you find it?
It's good.
Okay.
It's delicious. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Like that's just water and your powder, right?
Yeah. And so some people like to add a bit of milk of their choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would totally smooth it out.
Okay.
This fantastic blend of 8 mushrooms and ashwagandha is one of my go-tos, but you guys have so many different products. Tell us a little bit.
We do. So like we showed you, the Universal Harmony is the mix of everything.
Yeah.
And then we have more of the single ones over here. So for instance, this is just the chaga.
Yeah.
Which, this is the chaga mushroom.
Okay, yeah.
Believe it or not, it gets broken down into the beautiful powder. And it's in and this one is just like a very high antioxidant mushroom.
Yeah.
It's actually higher in antioxidants than, say, blueberries or all these other fruits that people think are super high
Right.
grapes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're needing a high antioxidant, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Clear Mind is our lion's mane.
Yeah.
So this one's for cognitive function. Keeps our brains on fire.
Right
if you want
on.
to wake up in the morning without coffee, I would suggest this one. Chill Vibe is the red reishi.
Cool.
So calming, just kind of zen-like. You might want to take in the evening, or if you're feeling a bit anxious.
Yeah.
And then our other blend is the Evening Calm with the red reishi and the ashwagandha.
Okay.
And so this is, again, is the calming of the red reishi, and then the ashwagandha is, again, for stress.
Yeah.
And then we have this one, the Mindful Breath, which is the lion's mane and the cordyceps. So
Right.
again, cognitive function, and then the cordyceps is for a lot of energy.
Totally. So you can
Yeah.
have kind of a blend of all of them, or you can really hone in on specifics if you
exactly.
want. Fantastic.
Yeah, and I use them all.
Yeah. So this is awesome. You guys have a fantastic lineup here. Great time to be taking advantage of mushrooms and all their benefits. Thank you so much for sharing.
my
And
pleasure.
I'm going to keep cooking.
Ah,
Yeah.
thanks, Mike.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Back into the kitchen, we're pulling together our double chocolate brownie, Brownie 2.0, with mushroom cocoa whipped cream, and we're also going to serve it up with some Power Bites and a mushroom cocoa spiked coffee. It's going to be a fantastic, decadent Sunday, brunchy, desserty coffee kind of thing. Loving it. So I'm going to get a coffee going in a little bit here. So first step, obviously, let's get our coffee brewing so it's ready for us to make our coffee shortly here. However you make your coffee, the French press, AeroPress, regular coffee maker. If you want to do an espresso watered down, that's just fine. Just make sure it's nice and strong. Well, if you like it strong. I mean, I do. So here's our brownie, folks. Check this out. Take a close look. It's looking fantastic. I'm going to cut into this. I'm going to get some portions going, and we're going to see just, you know, how fudgy this turned out. That's the goal with this recipe, is a nice fudgy brownie. So it's really important to not bake it too long. Look at that. All right, how good does that look? All right, so let's get a couple portions here. Right, so just cut it, you know, however, whatever your portion size is, that's just fine. We're gonna start off right there. And I want to create a little bit of room here to work because we're not quite ready to plate. So I'm just going to go ahead and move those brownies out of the way for now. Oh, I want to take a bite so bad, but instead I'm going to carry on. I'm going to use my willpower, and I'm going to get started making some whipping cream here. So I'm going to throw in some whipping cream into my Vitamix. I've actually never tried making Vitamix whipping cream before, so let's give this a go and see how this works. And I'm gonna throw a secret ingredient into here. Now, you guys know. Are you kidding me? I wasn't even ready.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna plate a delicious brownie dish, and here you are. You just snuck one.
Well, it just looks so good. I really wanted one.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Right? Okay, well, I'm glad you're liking it. I'm gonna make up some whipped cream here, and maybe you can have a little dollop of whipped cream on there before it's done. You wanna give it a try? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. So we'll let that do its thing. In the meantime, I'm gonna break open my, whoa, is that really that fast? Yeah, it is, right on. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is, you know very well how I roll. I'm always trying to sneak the healthy stuff into the delicious stuff. And I've tricked you guys, I threw it out there like, oh yeah, it's just a dessert recipe, no vegetables. Instead though, we're gonna go ahead and incorporate some of this Purica mushroom cocoa mix into our whipped cream. Now this is like, no, don't be confused, there's no magic here. These are medicinal mushrooms. There's 8 different mushrooms plus ashwagandha. Incredible health benefits. So we're really going to be bumping up the nutritional value of our whipping cream by using this. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of this into our whipping cream, and we'll mix that in, get it blended. It's sweetened already, so the sweetener is in there. What do you think? You want to give this a try?
Sure.
All right. Now, let the record show. This is my boy here. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
Yeah? You're
Yeah.
enjoying your brownie?
Yeah, it's tasty.
And now I'm about to kick it up a notch.
Awesome.
Right? You've had my brownies before. I know you love my brownies, but I do know that my son does not like mushrooms. So The lovely thing about this blend is it doesn't taste like mushrooms. It just tastes like hot cocoa if you make it in a hot cocoa. And how about that?
Looks good. It's awesome.
Mushroom cocoa whipped cream. Right on. Well, hey, I'm gonna finish plating this up. I'm gonna make a beautiful presentation. Why don't you go finish your brownie and enjoy?
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
See you, Dad.
All right. Okay, so let's get the plate going. Our coffee's ready to go. Actually, you know what I want to do right now is I want to get the whipping cream out of my blender because I need the blender to make my coffee, okay? So let's go ahead and transfer this whipping cream into our bowl here so that we can go ahead and get our coffee going, and then we'll be ready to finish this plate up. And you know what? Like, I'm always about saving steps in the kitchen, and this whipping cream is actually going to be fantastic in the coffee, so I'm not going to be too concerned about getting every last drop out of there, all right? Right on. So we'll get our blender set back up. Let's go ahead and press our coffee. We're ready for our whipped cream. So I'm going to grab my French press and press the coffee now. We'll add a little bit more of that mushroom cocoa mix and really kind of upgrade this coffee as well. So let's go ahead and get that into our blender. A little bit of whipping cream in there is going to get incorporated. And as well, I've got some grass-fed butter here. Grass-fed butter, you ask? That's right. The cows, they eat grass strictly as their diet. And the milk that you get from grass-fed cattle is fantastic. And it's actually a super nutritious, addition to your baking. Grass-fed butter rules. So we're going to drop that into our coffee. We're going to get a little bit more of that mushroom cocoa mix into our coffee. And we'll buzz that up. And it's going to get all nice and light and frothy. So get it up to high speed. Really helps building up that froth. This is one of my favorite ways to drink coffee. Oh yeah, look at that. How good does that look? All right, coffee's ready. Let's hit the plate. Here we go, folks. This is how it all comes together. Got some amazing fatso, one of my favorite peanut butters. What I'm gonna do here is just incorporate this fatso and just put a little smear of it on the plate, which is gonna go underneath the brownie. Go like that, and then whoosh, like so. Let's grab some of our brownie here. We'll place that right there. On top of the brownie goes a nice, healthy dollop of our mushroom cocoa whipped cream. Okay, a little flavor contrast here with some Chef Mike's Power Bites. Looks kind of like me. Texture contrast. So we'll place those guys right there, like so. And you know what I also like to do? Just a little crumble right on top. Finish it off with that coffee, right? How good does this look? There you have it. Brownie 2.0, a double chocolate brownie with mushroom cocoa whipped cream, Power Bites, and mushroom cocoa spiked coffee. Enjoy.
Pairings are brought to you by Liquor Plus. Discover the plus.
What makes a brownie better? Well, something special to wash it down with. To help us out, we have Jason McIsaac from Sheringham. Welcome back to the kitchen.
Yeah, thanks for having me by.
I created a delicious coffee drink I told you about. You said you're going to bring something special.
Sounds
Is this it right here?
Yeah, it's our coffee liqueur.
Right on. So I'm going to freehand pour in here. I'll be careful not to put too much in. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, you bet.
All right. So this is going to finish off our mushroom cocoa hot chocolate, delicious, frothy coffee beverage.
Sounds great.
Probably just right. It smells amazing.
I think the coffee liqueur will be a happy addition to that beverage.
Yeah, I do too. So let's buzz this up. Okay, now, not only do we have this delicious coffee beverage, but we've also got some dessert
Wow,
to enjoy.
looks fantastic.
Oh, can you
that
smell
smells
that?
great, yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Wow.
like total decadent Sunday morning.
Smells delicious.
Nice way to finish off a week. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll say.
All right, let's have a taste.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks for
Cheers.
coming down again. Oh yeah. I'm liking that. So how does your
delicious.
coffee liqueur come together? Tell us.
We get our beans from a local roastery in Souk called
Yep.
Stick in the Mud Coffee Shop.
Okay, west coast of Vancouver Island, rustic Souk, right
That's
on.
right,
Yeah.
Souk, British Columbia on Vancouver Island. The coffee shop is really close to us. They roast the beans right there, so we give them a call. They bring over the beans, and we do an infusion
Nice.
into our vodka.
Okay, so this is like
To
a
make this
coffee
liqueur.
vodka.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey man, it tastes delicious. I'm gonna have a little taste of the dessert here.
Yeah, I'd like to
and
dig in
just
there
I'm gonna
too.
pretend it is that, Sunday morning. Time to indulge, relax, enjoy. Super gooey, fudgy brownie. I've got some of
Delicious.
that mushroom cocoa mixed into the whipping cream. We could probably have a
Wow.
little bit of that whipping cream on top of this drink too, hey?
Sounds okay to me.
Right on. So Sheringham's doing pretty well. You
Wow.
guys are still rolling, creating beautiful products. One of my favorite distilleries.
Yeah,
Any
thank you.
tidbits for us?
We're known for our gin.
Of course.
We have our Seaside Gin,
Yeah.
which is our flagship,
Yeah.
and Kazuki Gin.
Yeah.
And summer of 2020, we just released a new gin as well. It's Rhubarb Gin, which is
Really?
very exciting.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can't wait
pink
to
and
try
delicious.
that. Oh
and
my
It's
goodness.
sweet. It's more of a liqueur.
Yeah.
And our Kazuki Gin just won the Spirit of the Year.
And this is just followed up from 2019. You guys had a massive award in
2019
London, is that
in
right?
London, yeah, at the World Gin Awards, we won Best Contemporary Gin in the World, which is extremely exciting.
So you guys kind of know what you're doing if you're winning gin awards in London, I think.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I can attest, I absolutely love your gins. They're fantastic. Just incredible flavor and, hey, great feeling, having one of those on a hot sunny day.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So thank you so much for coming down.
Yeah,
Much appreciated.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Really, really nice to be here.
Check out our website where you'll find recipes with all the details from today's show. I'm Michael Williams, and don't forget, dinner's better when we enjoy it together.